What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of Creature of the Night. I apologize for my absence, been preoccupied. And just a heads up, if you hear anything moving or rustling around, I do own dogs and they're out and about, so just ignore it. But guys, let's get right into this. I've been waiting for this film for a while. It got pushed back because of COVID, the goddamn COVID, and I know we're still in the midst of it, because what are we on now? Megatron, Omicron, I don't know which variant we're on right now. But let's get right into this from my favorite producer, Guillermo del Toro, Antlers.
Daddy?
So this takes place in a small town. We all know what happens in a small town, heavily meth-based. We see a dad. He appears to be a loving dad. He has his son outside waiting. At first, going into it, I thought that he's a minor or something. It turns out he's making meth. So yeah, there's that. And I guess because of what's going on with the mining, because they're blasting and they're drilling in this town. And it's like so much that we're doing to the earth now. It appears like the earth is kind of fighting back. It's fighting back with global warming, like in real life. And in this instance, its defense is reawakening an old Native American legend, the Wendigo. It appears him and his friend are hearing something in the mine. Something's approaching them, and then they're suddenly attacked. His friend is literally ripped apart. They find half of him in the mine and the other half out in the woods somewhere. I don't know what happens, and I'm guessing somewhere in the attack, because the dad does survive. He is bitten by this thing, and his son, kids being kids, being curious, he's hearing something. He gets off of the truck instead of listening to his dad, and it kind of just blacks out. Like we hear something, some kind of creature approaching, and then it just blacks out. And we later find out, because he has two sons. His son is going to school every day. I guess, keeping up appearances, that's the best way you could describe it, because as he goes home, we see a door with many locks on it, and he's feeding something that is locked in the attic. And we later discovered that he's just protecting his little brother and his dad. They have some kind of virus in them, so I'm guessing it's not really keeping towards the legend, because if you're not familiar with the Wendigo, the legend is that it's always based off of a hunter who gets lost, somebody gets stranded in the woods, and they have to revert to cannibalism. And it seems like once the moment, I don't know if it's because of cannibalism, they're eating meat, the human meat, or it's the fact that they're taking lives or what, and it happens to be out in the woods, that it transforms them into this creature. They kind of become deranged. Antlers are always involved, like skulls of deer or something is always involved with every version of it. It's a deer with a large body, extra, what is the word? How do you say it? Extra length limbs. Both the arms and his legs are extra strong. And to give you a comparison, at the end of the film, it shows the Wendigo feeding on a bear like it's nothing and overpowering them. So that gives you the size of how big this thing is. And so, shout out to the teachers too, because of this, we need teachers out there somebody who's always looking out for their kids. You don't get too many of them like that. There's always people just pushing kids through like cattle. It's a numbers game. Whoever makes it makes it. But this one starts noticing that he's basically crying out for help without crying out for help. He's doing drawings of very vicious stuff, like people getting eaten, animals getting eaten, or just blood, and very scary images of creatures. So the first thing they think of, because the town is familiar with the dad and that he's been arrested a few times, that maybe he's abusing his kid, and he just doesn't know how to reach out. Because as time goes on, because he's basically feeding himself, he is getting, what is the word, where he's becoming scrawny, he's becoming malnourished, he's starving, and it's because he's dedicated his full time feeding his little brother, feeding his dad, so that nothing happens to him, until eventually the principal gets involved, and she goes to the house and becomes the next meal for the Wendigo. And then once the dad feasts on human flesh, that's when the real transformation begins. Hopefully you're seeing some kind of clip where it's showing his transformation, because it is vicious. I love how it shows it's not just the body turning into something. Something literally bursts out of the body and it's like the human shell was a cocoon, and now this full length. The creature just busts out and it's going out. It's like the speed is insane, his strength is insane, and his hunger is insane. So yeah, so now we're seeing like what's going on, and from Legends, it shows that the Wendigo's weakness is always its frozen heart. You have to do something to its heart to kill it. Well, in this one they kind of revert it because, in my opinion, it looked like it was inflamed. It was glowing. It looked like it was hot to the touch. But you have to. It's always the heart that you have to destroy. And after going through hell, tracking down and finding who the people are, and it's taking its revenge because it says like it has some kind of a little bit of memory of the person that it was. So people who have wronged it, it goes after naturally. So going after the sheriff who locked him away a few times, and the teacher that got involved in that was helping the kid was actually the sheriff's sister. So going after them, like it's up to the sister now to help and protect his kids because she has a crazy background too, where she was abused. So she connects with this kid and tries to protect him. And I just want to point out, like she has some balls going into the creature's lair and taking it on head on and using itself as bait while the only son, because he at the end of the day it's his dad and it's his little brother, and he doesn't want to do anything to hurt them. He's been protecting them for this long. He still tries to protect them, but he knows to protect the one person that is helping him, he has to kill his dad. He rips his heart out and ends up crushing it. But after doing that, the dad dying, the virus that was in the younger brother, now he starts to transform. He's going to be a little Wendigo, and she has to kill him. I'm glad that they didn't show it, because that would have brought tears to my eye. But it was sad, the whole situation. And then of course, as we know with horror films, there is no really happy ending. There is no getting rid of the creature at the end of it. There's always some kind of last jump scare or something that happens to let you know that it's not over. It turns out like the kid who's been so careful in feeding his family and avoiding at all costs the creature or getting anywhere near it, he is now infected, and because the brother was protecting them both, he got injured in the process. Now he has the virus as well. So we don't know where it's gonna go from there. Does she have the power to kill the little boy that she worked so hard to save? Can she kill the only family that she has left now? Like, what's gonna happen next? But it just kind of ends like that. Overall, guys, I give it 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. It was very entertaining. It kept me at the edge of my seat. I was engaged the entire time. For me and for my girlfriend, I know we're bored from a film. If you hang out with us, we're bored from a film if we get on our phones. Not once did I get on my phone. I was like anxious. It was a great night watching it. It was so worth the wait, but I wish it would have came out sooner, guys. Yeah, guys, the Wendigo, guys. If you don't know anything about it, go research it. I do, because I did find a video that talks strictly about Wendigo and their history below. My wolf, who did some research on it, he has some crazy stories. Researching this, he actually was unable to get me a few videos and a few pictures actually with symbols related to the Wendigo. Every time we try to get into it on Google, it would redirect them, or it would just say because of security purposes he can't look at this photo, and he wasn't able to save. So that intrigues me too. Folklore, fairy tales, urban legends, they're all based off of something. So is there something else out there? Is there a mythical creature that is related to this? Like, what is going on? Why couldn't I get the stuff that I could get? So hopefully the stuff that I'm showing you, the stuff that you're seeing, hopefully it's enough, and it makes you want to go watch it. I think it's on HBO Max. I think we went to go see it in the theaters, if I remember, because it was a while back. I was just busy trying to get other things out of the way. That's why you didn't get this video sooner. But thanks you for bearing with me, guys. I believe we're at 230 subscribers now, but those views can get up higher, guys. But I need your help. Please like, subscribe, and share my shit. Thank you so much. Again, I am Toxin, your friendly neighborhood sinner. Like I always say, guys, if you're not sinning, you're not having fun. Beware the moon, guys.